Okay, I decided to do two videos on the good and bad of camping in an RV. I will start off today with 5 reasons RV camping may not be good for you. I will follow up next week with a 5 reasons RV camping might be good for you. So let's get to it. Well, no matter what size RV you might have, I've got what I consider a mid-size, but some people might call this a smaller camper. But I've actually had an A-liner at one time and a smaller little teardrop at one time. So I know what it's like to have to cram everything in a small space. So the big problem is with any kind of RV is you've got to get used to having everything in a small space. Um, and in our case, even with the bed, we have a double bed in ours, and that double bed, it's not as big as the bed we have at the house. Some people are lucky enough they might get a queen in one of these, but a lot of times you can't get more than a smaller bed or a bunk. And I know in our A-liner we had these bunks that we had from side to side, and they were kind of small, so you just have to get used to being in a small space. You also have to get used to cooking in a small area, only having limited amount of utensils. So if you're not used to being kind of organized with everything going in its place and being kind of crammed in, and then camping in an RV maybe not be good for you. Do you worry about not being connected to the outside world, being disconnected? So at the very least, you'll end up giving up something. You'll end up giving up your TV. You only have a few channels or maybe none. You may or may not have Wi-Fi where you're at. You may not have 3G or 4G. And definitely won't have a 5G setup. And sometimes you don't have any cell service at all. So if you need to be connected at all times to the outside world, RV camping is probably not for you. If the thought of hanging out in a chair outdoors for hours sounds boring to you, then RV camping might not be for you. You are not into just kind of sitting out and chilling and you're bored. Well, RV camping is not for you. Number 2, towing something behind you intimidates you. Well, if you own an RV, depending on any size really, anytime you tow something behind your car, you're going to have special considerations. And I've known some people that have bought these campers and it just intimidated them too much to drag this camper behind them all the time. You have to be aware of the places that you're driving to. How tall is it to get into a gas pump? How hard is it to maneuver? Sometimes you'll have to go past a place that you see that you want to pull over, and you'll have to make plans to make sure you make right turns and make yourself back to where you need to park. You need to have the clearances you need to pull through, and you have to have the confidence to do that. So sometimes you just can't get that. You're never going to get it right up front, but you'll slowly get used to it in most cases. But there's some people that never seem to get over that. So if that's something that's going to bother you, then definitely RV camping is not for you. And one of the number one reasons is people think they might be able to save money by camping in an RV. And that's hard to do. If anybody owns a camper, they already know that it costs a lot of money to run a camper. You basically have to spend the money to get the campground. You have to have the gear that goes in the camper. You have to pay to dump sometimes. You have to pay to, your gas mileage will definitely go down. In my particular case, my gas mileage is cut in half. So you have to figure these things out, and then basically in the long haul, it really can cost you more to camp. So simply put, if you do not enjoy RV camping, do not do it. It just to try to save money. You will not save, because you have other expenses that you do not figure into your figures. So, and that's about all I have with this video, and I ask you to make sure you check out next week we'll actually have the reasons why you want to have an RV. There's certain advantages to having one, and there are quite a few of them out there. So stay tuned and check out that. And I hope this helps you out, and we'll see you next time.